welcome to the Deep Dive. My name is Deja Studdard, and I am excited to speak with you about service as we head into this Thanksgiving week. I want to share different ways in the community that you can give back, from the Mozel Sanders Foundation to the Salvation Army to Coburn Place and to Newfields. There's so many ways that you can serve and ways that they are also serving us. You can give of your time, of your gifts, of your talent, of your effort, of your energy. It's more than just money, but you can give that too. So let's get into this Thanksgiving episode and find out different ways where we can give back to our community. Welcome to the Deep Dive with Deja. I'm so excited for you guys to be here today. What we're going to be talking about is the Mozel Sanders Foundation and what they're going to be doing for Thanksgiving this year. And we have Stephan Sanders in the building with us. Steph, how are you doing?
I'm good, Deja. How are you?
I'm doing really good, and I'm excited because this is your time of the year. But I first want to start off, because anybody that knows, that's been in Indiana any amount of time, knows what the Mozel Sanders Foundation is. But I want you to explain what it is in all its full capacity, in all of its glory. What is the Mozel Sanders Foundation?
All right. So we've been around for over 50 years. This mission started when my grandfather saw a couple people sitting on the stoops of his church, and he invited them in for a meal on Thanksgiving. These people were homeless or inebriated. He didn't discriminate. He said, "Are you hungry?" They said yes. He went in the kitchen, cooked them some food, and next year they brought back guests. So it's grown from Pearl's Lounge to Arsenal Tech to Butler University, and now we are at Ivy Tech Culinary Center. We'll be serving about 10,000 meals this year.
Okay, so first, if someone wants to volunteer, how do they go about that volunteer process?
Okay, so people have acted fast this year as far as ordering meals and volunteering. So Ivy Tech is already filled up. We needed 800 volunteers, and people have already in advance, filled those slots.
Yeah.
But we still have Roberts United Methodist Church, and we also have Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, where you can go in online at mozelsanders.org, and there are some slots left. So we still need you.
Yeah. Okay. So there's still opportunity to volunteer. What about in terms of, because I heard you say order. What if you want a meal?
Right, November 17th was the cutoff date.
Oh no!
So yes, we were pushing that. We were pushing that over and over again. That please, to ensure that you receive a meal, please order by November 17th. But we also have several satellites throughout the city. So if you're in a particular area, we'll have those sites posted here soon, where you can walk up and get a meal.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's really nice.
Right.
Okay. So, do you know any of those satellite locations off the top of your head?
Yes, we got Christ Community Church. We have Tabernacle Presbyterian. We have Roberts United Methodist Church. We have Mount Vernon Community Missionary Baptist Church. We have Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, and others to be posted here shortly.
Okay. So what about if someone, they like, well, I can't volunteer, I can't get there, and I also don't need any food. What about the donation process?
Please, yes.
I know here it says donate now. What does that look like? How can someone donate?
So this doesn't happen without money. So
yes,
please visit mozelsanders.org, or you can text Mozel to 53555. You can also snail mail us. My mom loves that. So 709 North Belmont Avenue. You can mail a check there, or Cash App. That is $Mozel Sanders.
Okay, so tell me about a little bit of that volunteer experience. If someone wants to volunteer, how do they go about that? Now I know they can sign up and so forth like that, but what does the volunteer process look like? Like, are they serving food? Are they taking it to people? Like, what does that mean? How does that look?
Correct. So if you go on the website, you'll see everything is categorized by times. If you want to be a server, you can serve. So that means being on the line, actually scooping out that turkey, which is actually chicken breast. We're using chicken breast this year. Chicken breast, green beans with turkey ham in it, stuffing, gravy.
Is this the meal?
Yes, that's the meal. Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
Okay, so we have chicken breast.
Now you're supposed to say succulent.
Oh my
juicy.
gosh, succulent. Yeah, I'll leave that to my mom. But yes, we got that chicken breast. We have dressing. We have gravy.
Ooh, dressing.
Green beans with turkey ham because we ain't putting pork on the fork. And then we have 2 dinner rolls and some apple crisp.
Okay.
So a very healthy meal. So, and if you really want a full experience, it's your first time volunteering, you have your family with you, sign up to be a driver. That makes a big impact. You actually are dropping off that meal to someone, they're receiving it, and you get a full experience that way.
Now you take care, and your foundation takes care of a lot of people on Thanksgiving. What do you do to take care of yourself for the holiday?
Oh, you're going to try to come with some trick questions.
No!
Okay, so, I relax. I spend time with family, with my mom over here to my left.
Okay.
And I'm also a musician, so I like to, just play my music and chill out.
All right, now see, you can't say that. And then I better see you at an open mic. I better see you somewhere playing your music. Now I go to a lot of open mics, so I want to see you. What do you now? You said music. What kind of music do you do?
All music.
What specifically?
All music. So I play bass. Yeah, I play bass, but yeah,
you play bass.
a wide range of music. So
Okay, now tell me what else Mozel Sanders Foundation does throughout the year beyond just Thanksgiving.
Okay, so shout out to the Urban League. We all received a grant from them, which allowed us to feed 175 individuals. So if you went to Thomas Gregg Middle School or Washington Irving Middle School and you were on free and reduced lunch, we fed your entire household. So if it was one student and 5 family members, we weren't just going to drop off one meal. We fed the entire household a hot meal every Friday. That's a hard day for some parents that have to work on Friday. So with that in mind, we kind of developed that idea to, feed children every Friday, 175 people. Yeah, wow. and we deliver the meals. We use the same kind of strategy on Thanksgiving every Friday.
Yeah. Okay, so Stephan, you said your grandfather is a person essentially that started this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you went into your dad took over, and now it's you in the takeover.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this organization mean to you?
Well, we can't forget my mom, Stephanie Sanders.
We cannot forget that. She's over there.
Right.
As fabulous as can be.
Right. See, don't ever say I left you out. But yeah, we can't forget my mom. She took over after my dad passed. And as far as being social and, networking, that's her expertise. I'm still learning in that regard. However, I'm the thinker, more of the serious person, and she's more of the personality. But, I'm learning from her. And yes, this is a big thing to me. It'll never die. So I can just show that with my actions versus words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see more of what you all do throughout the year. I'm excited to see more. And I was surprised when I was looking through your site. You all have a sauce. You got tell me about this sauce.
We do. We got some sauce. We got some barbecue sauce, and we also have some hot sauce. It's a mango habanero sauce. It's called Mozango.
Mozango?
Yeah, it's called Mozango. So y'all get that sauce. Y'all like something spicy, check that out. And then we also have the barbecue sauce.
Okay, that is really cool, and that is really neat. Stephan, is there anything else that we need to know about the Mozel Sanders Foundation?
$20 feeds a family of four. So if you're thinking about giving anything monetary, yes, $20 will feed a family of four. We also have shirts for sale. If you want to show up on Thanksgiving Day at Ivy Tech, we'll have some shirts for you. And yes, we also now have a green space located in Hallville. So we're growing produce year round. So really trying to meet the community at their needs and set up food sovereignty in areas where it's needed. And we also have a scholarship. Please visit mozelsanders.org if you're in middle school or high school to apply for that scholarship.
Yes. Thank you so much, Stephan. I really appreciate you for coming in, for telling us about all of what you guys have going on. You all have so much, and you're so much more than just Thanksgiving. But of course, Thanksgiving is your big time of the year, and you still remember you can grab plates, you can volunteer, and you can donate. Stephan, thank you. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you, Mozel Sanders Foundation. Thank you, Mom. Off to the side here.
Thank you, Deja.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We are here with a very fun and very exciting project that we are so ready to tell you about. And I am here with Mr. Jonathan Wright from Newfields. Jonathan.
Hi.
How
Thanks
are
for
you
having
doing?
me. I'm fantastic. It's so great to be here to talk with you today.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. We've been talking off camera. I can hear the passion in your voice. We're going to get into this garden that is being opened up at Newfields. But before we get into that, I want to know what exactly is Newfields.
Oh, absolutely.
What in the world? I know it's right here in Circle City, but let's get into what that is exactly.
Absolutely. Newfields is an extraordinary cultural campus. We're over 152 acres, and we have some incredible assets that all come together in this amazing place, right? So first and foremost, people know us because of the Indianapolis Museum of Art, one of the top 10 largest and most incredible museum collections in the country. We also have the Virginia B. Fairbanks Art and Nature Park, which is a 100-acre urban oasis along the White River with a 35-acre lake, and it's studded with incredible works of contemporary art. It's free and open to the public every day of the year, dawn to dusk.
It's free.
It's free,
Okay.
and you can come, you can drive to us, you can bike to us, or run to us, or walk to us on the Canal Towpath. It's absolutely incredible, and we have an incredible team that maintains that in a more naturalistic style, so you can kind of feel like you're out connecting with nature right downtown. But it's also studded with some amazing works of contemporary art. And then we have the incredible Lily House and our garden. And the garden is more than 26 acres of historic gardens that are around the historic Lilly Mansion of the Lilly family. It's a National Historic Landmark. And they generously gifted a big piece of property to the Art Association back in the late 1960s, early 1970s to build a new home for the IMA with this incredible vision that our city could have an amazing museum within a garden. And so we have contemporary gardens around the IMA as well.
You know, this is really fascinating for me because I've been in the city my whole life. I grew up here. And of course, you know, you had to go on field trips here when you were a kid. But, you know, as an adult, you're hearing all these things and you're like, what? Like, this
All
is
in one
right
place.
here. Like, and like, you know, you might hear about it during Christmas and the lights and things, but I don't know about the capacity of all of its glory. And
It's really fun. I mean, having friends from I've been in the gardening career my whole life. I mean, in this career for many, many years, and my whole life I've been a gardener and have gardening friends who come from around the country, people who are art museum lovers who come from around the country, and they're always blown away by the fact that, you know, our garden, the museum, the park, we have this all in one incredible location.
Yeah. So
It's really
tell
lucky.
me about, because that's what you're here for.
Yes.
Tell me about the gardens within
Yes.
Newfields.
So, as I mentioned, we have historic gardens around the historic Lily House, and then we have contemporary gardens around the IMA. The whole garden as a whole has all these different rooms. Like the way a museum has many galleries,
Because
our
what does
garden
that
has
mean?
a lot of different
That's
rooms.
what I'm trying to dig into. Like, what does that mean? To me, a garden is a garden is a garden. You know, like to me, they're kind of all the same.
Absolutely.
In my head, because you know I've grown up a lot more urban, if you will, in the sense
Absolutely.
of, you just
Oh,
go,
you think of a
you just-
vegetable garden with a fence around it where you grow tomatoes and peppers.
and there's maybe some rabbits that come up,
Exactly.
and maybe, that, because all of my food, like, I get it from the grocery store, I don't,
As
I don't.
most of us do. Most
Right.
of us don't have the space to have a big garden at home and grow a lot of our own food.
So tell me
we're lucky to have the space to do that.
about, like, what's in the space of these gardens. Like, what's within them.
When you arrive at Newfields, depending on the time of year,
Mm-hmm.
you can start your journey in the IMA galleries and see one of our incredible exhibitions,
Mm-hmm.
or visit the collection, or you can start out in the garden and explore the Lily House, our incredible historic greenhouse, which is home to an amazing orchid collection.
Yeah.
So you can wander and explore inside and out, and much like in the museum, you can
Mm-hmm.
go from one gallery and see incredible work from America, or incredible Asian art, or incredible African art. In the garden, we have similar. It's arranged very similarly. So gardens tend to be more strolling experiences. So in the historic heart of the garden, it centers around the Lily House, and they're incredible views framed with big trees that you might call more formal. And then they're bordered by areas that are a little more meandering, and you could wander down a shade garden and see beautiful shade plants and spring wildflowers blooming. And the whole experience was arranged. We're a National Historic Landmark, partly because of the Lily House itself, but partly because the garden and all of the outbuildings still exist. So it was built from the early 1920s into about 1930, when the Lilly family acquired the place. And so you have all these different rooms. So you have a garden that might feel more formal, and you have woodland borders where you might feel like you're more wandering down like a woodland path.
Okay.
And you can kind of
getting it.
wander and have a great experience.
Yeah, okay, I'm picking up on it. So I want you to dig into a little bit about your personal history around why you love gardening so much and how you're attached to it.
Yeah. I've always been, I've gardened my whole life. I think I've been drawn to the power and the beauty that plants have in our lives. As a little kid, I watched my grandmother, when she was struggling with cancer, my grandfather would tend the garden and grow all of her favorite flowers. And build a little stone wall so he could push her out in her wheelchair and she could smell those flowers up close. And as a little kid, to see the smile on her face and the power that beauty and flowers can have in someone's life, I think I was hooked from a very young age. So I've always gardened, and it's what kind of drives me, and it drives a lot of us in the world of public gardens. Right there, we build places for the community to come together and to celebrate. You might come for wedding photos or engagement photos or high school graduation photos, or you may come alone when you're having a rough time and you just need to be in a beautiful place and find some solace.
Yeah. Wow. And so you can just walk into Newfields, or how does that work?
Absolutely. So general admission. So once you come in, your ticket includes admission to all that we have to offer: the IMA galleries and the garden, the Lily House, the greenhouse. As I mentioned, the Virginia Beach Fairbanks Art and Nature Park, which is 2/3 of our property, we maintain that as a free and open park every day of the year. There is a general admission fee to get into the museum and the garden. And we have an incredible membership program as well, and so that you can come and once you're in the doors, you can explore everything.
Yeah, I really appreciated what you were saying about the beauty of a garden, because there's just something special that a garden has, and there's something special that you all are doing at Newfields. And so tell me about your passion project and about what you've been working on for what I'm hearing a decade.
Yes.
And so tell me about this groundbreaking.
So just yesterday we broke ground on something that I'm personally really excited about, and so many in this community have been so supportive of and are really invested in, is bringing back the historic heart of our garden. So back in around 1970, when the museum opened, we needed more parking. So at that time, the best solution was to take the original, essentially kitchen garden, right? The productive garden where the flowers and vegetables for the whole Lily estate were grown, was a flat area behind a hedge. So they turned it into a parking lot. And that may have served us well back then, but today, as we really are investing in the history of the place and bringing back the beauty and making it more accessible to the community, we really wanted to bring back that element that's been missing, that kitchen garden. And so our flower and vegetable garden has been in development for 10 years now.
I cannot even believe that, like that a garden, that there's something about like and that's the thing. When I think about it, it's like, to me, a garden is not just like an overnight project, because I like things like in news, you just you're fast.
It's very quick, right?
But there's something that with a garden, it seems like you get the chance to slow down.
You do, and it is important to think about that. I mean, that's one of the things that drives what we do, is being a place to come. And I always say my goal is you come through our garden gate and you should just exhale and find yourself in a place where you can slow down and the beauty really is restorative. Yeah. And so this project, there is currently, and we are in the process, thanks to yesterday's groundbreaking, of removing it, a more than a half-acre parking lot right in the middle of our National Historic Landmark, like this famous garden. And in the middle, where there used to be this beautiful garden, is a parking lot. So we will be removing that and bringing back this incredible historic view that connects it's right around for those who have been to the garden before, the beautiful historic greenhouses, the Elder greenhouses. So the Madeline F. Elder greenhouses are right there on this spot. And so we'll be surrounding those beautiful historic greenhouses with an incredible garden that's inspired by the history, but allows us to think for the future and add a few new elements.
Yeah. When I hear you say vegetable garden, I think food.
Absolutely.
And so what does that piece look like?
I'm so glad you asked. Food is such a connector, right? Yeah. And I think, it's in the world, in the museum world, we have a similar conversation around people who love art and are creative, but are hesitant to call themselves an artist, right? But we're all creative, right? And I think we're all gardeners in some way, even when people are maybe hesitant to call themselves a gardener, right? And that's, we all have some connection with plants, whether it's house plants or you had a relative growing up who had an amazing garden and grew tomatoes, and maybe you had to go out and weed the tomato patch, and your memories aren't like always like excited that you had to go out and weed, but people have those connections, and food plants are really great at kind of bringing people together. And so we're excited about exploring that and the connections that people can have with the plants in the garden.
Yeah. So what are you guys thinking about as far as like the possibilities for the garden, projects that you all will host and things there?
So that's the thing that's exciting, and you mentioned the longevity of a garden, and that's why we've spent so much time planning this. Is we could have gone and just kind of put back something that looked like the photo from 1920, and we are bringing a lot of those views back because we find we have a responsibility to respect the history. But for the programming, we know that people connect around food and social gatherings, and so we, through our Winter Lights program, Spring Blooms, Harvest Nights, we're always trying to find ways to invite people to come and connect in the garden in all seasons. So this way, with this new flower and vegetable garden, whether it's spring, summer, fall, or winter, you can come, be inspired by what we're growing, learn. Even if don't have a big garden yourself, you may be inspired to grow containers of herbs on your back patio to enjoy in your own cooking.
Yeah.
And from a programmatic standpoint, we're going to have an outdoor classroom.
Yeah.
So we can work with educators. We have an incredible chef on our team. So we imagine doing programs where you could come and do a tasting, and you walk with a gardener and a chef, and you see what's growing. The team harvests some things, and then you go and you get invited to sit down with us and taste what's growing right in our own garden.
Oh, there's something so sweet about that. I've been watching this class. It's a master class on intentional eating.
Yes.
And the guy, he's been talking about how you need to grow your food yourself and how that shifts things and changes things. But for me, the task of growing something, it feels so daunting.
Right.
You got to know that, like, I'm just, somebody that just goes to the store and picks it up.
Yep.
And so if you have someone like me, what would you say? What would you encourage them to do as far as a start?
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm like scared because it's like, and I know
It's
it's
overwhelming.
beautiful,
No.
but it feels like overwhelming. Like, can I grow this?
Yeah.
Can I actually do this?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's part of the goal of this is no matter what level of gardener you are, we want you to come and be inspired and learn and grow yourself, right? And so if that's, it may very well be that you say, I don't even have an outdoor patio, but you might have you might have front steps where you could we could do a workshop where you could come in and you could learn how to grow. If you said, I love basil on my when I make pasta. Well, that's a really easy thing for you to learn. Come do a workshop with us, learn how to grow that yourself. You might start with one pot of basil that you love. So I would say start small, start with something that you love and something that you have kind of are excited about, because once you get success with that, it'll grow.
Well, I tell you what, that is encouraging for me as somebody who's actively thinking about gardening and who's thinking about not so much. I don't really have the space or the capacity really to do a full-fledged garden,
right?
But in terms of getting like some vegetables or something like that, there's a different motivation there.
Absolutely, and that's what we're hoping to do with this project is we're big believers in leading with beauty, right? So this garden is going to be stunning. We have an amazing team. Our horticulturist, Marion Keith, has been working on the planting plans. But the idea behind it is that you may not know anything about flowers, but you knew somebody who had a peony outside their kitchen door growing up, or you saw one in a relative's house. So we'll be growing things that you can connect with. And so whether you're a novice or you're an expert, we want to make sure that there's something to inspire everyone.
Yeah, I grew up, the only person, I grew up right here in the city. I grew up really downtown, not far from Newfields, not far from the fairgrounds. I grew up downtown. And I don't know why this guy had this, but he had an apple tree in his backyard.
Right.
And it brought people together. We also had an apple tree in our backyard, and it brought people together. My parents took it down because it brought too many people. And they were like, well, I don't think they didn't like people like coming in the backyard and stuff like that.
But you're sharing a story. We all even like you said, you grew up downtown, but you have a connection with plants. And we're excited about that because we think we're in a really unique position. We are located at Midtown. And so to be this beautiful green oasis where whether you want to walk around the lake and just have a moment of quiet, or you want to come and see the most beautiful flower borders you've ever seen, you can kind of get energized and inspired that way.
So tell me more about the flower aspect of it. Is there a certain type of flower that you guys are going for, or does it just depend on the season?
It will absolutely depend on the season, and the goal for this is to make it stunningly beautiful through every season, even in the winter, right? So you might not think about the winter being beautiful in a vegetable garden.
I don't.
And a lot of vegetable gardens, people do just sort of let them lie fallow for the winter. But we have a lot of guests in the winter, and there's a beautiful greenhouse filled with orchids. So our team's working really thoughtfully to ensure that we can have really cool plants that, again, you may be a botanist who understands all the different varieties and you could be inspired. But if you don't know the plants, you could come and just think that is the most artfully grown or trained or pruned plant. And so we'll be doing a lot of artful pruning of things so that in the winter it gives interest. But then in spring, obviously, there'll be waves of all of your favorites, right? Things that daffodils, tulips, lilies, irises. So there'll be things for cutting. There will be, and then as the seasons go on, there'll be a lot more true mixed borders. So if you think of the easiest way to say it would be think of photos of English cottage gardens or English mixed flower borders. So just really beautiful, artfully composed, combinations of plants that have bold foliage, bold texture, and that allow us to cut things from the garden and bring arrangements into the museum at times or into the the restrooms and do workshops, classes, programs that people can come and learn.
Yeah. I am really excited about this. I am really excited about what's to come. And this is going to open in fall of 2026.
We broke ground yesterday. Very, very excited that our team is on track for construction to be complete this time next year.
That's fast.
So we'll be letting folks get a sneak peek of it next winter. The goal is with winter lights that people can get a sneak peek, and then we'll be with great fanfare inviting everybody to the really flowery season the following spring.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. Is there anything else that we need to know, that Central Indiana needs to know about Newfields?
I would just say this is another investment in this incredible, iconic part of our community that wouldn't happen without so many people in this community standing up and supporting it. And I want to thank everybody who's been involved in it, and I invite everybody to come along with us on the journey. If you go to our website, we'll have a tracker that you can see over the next year, the progress as the construction is happening. And I hope folks come along on the journey with us and see it when it opens next fall and spring of 27.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am definitely going to be there. I drive past all the time on Michigan Road, and in that area.
Come in and see us.
Definitely coming.
Don't drive by. Come in and see us.
I'm definitely going. I'm definitely walking in, and I'm definitely gonna. This is all. I'm gonna commit to this. A one plant, or not, and I want it to be edible because I need some use out of this.
We can talk offline. I can give you some fun suggestions.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming
Absolutely.
in. I really appreciate you, and I'm super excited for what is going to happen with this garden.
Thanks, Deja. It's been wonderful talking with you.
Thank you. Welcome back. We are here with an amazing woman who is doing things in the community to transform the lives of individuals. Tracy Clark, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you are here. So the organization that you work with is Coburn Place. Tell us a little bit about what Coburn Place is and what you all do. I'm very interested in this.
Absolutely. So Coburn Place offers safe housing choices and supportive services to survivors of domestic violence and their children. So what that looks like is up to 2 years of housing at no cost, no cost for utilities. Everything is taken care of for the survivors, and also a whole host of supportive services that we offer to provide holistic support to our survivors as well.
Okay, so the first thing is, how does a person... Now, unfortunately, we know that being in this situation isn't the best thing in the first place. But if a person wants to come, if they're in a domestic violence situation, how do they go about getting support and help and assistance?
So we are not an emergency shelter, but we partner with many organizations that provide emergency services like Indie Champs. And what we do is we offer services to those who are connected with Indie Champs and other emergency shelters. So they would first contact an emergency shelter that can get them housed immediately or into some type of hotel immediately. And then we let them know that we have space, and they send people to us.
Okay, so they send people to you, and you said it's called Indie Champs?
Yes.
And what is Indie Champs?
Indie Champs is actually partnered with the police department, and so they're the first ones that get the call when there's actually the disturbance going on inside of the homes.
Okay.
And they provide connection support as well as additional resources to survivors of domestic violence as well.
Absolutely never heard of that.
Oh.
And so that's a good thing, because when I hear about you all, I would think that I think of you all as kind of like the face if somebody needs immediate help, but you guys aren't. There's emergency shelters where someone goes to, and then they connect further.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, this problem is something that is too big for even all of the organizations that are existing right now to solve. So we are constantly full and always looking for ways to expand. But we want to make sure that we don't put that trauma on the survivor as well by putting them on wait lists and things like that. So that's why we found that it's more trauma informed to work with some of the emergency shelters that can provide that housing right away.
Yeah, it is absolute massive issue, and it is a massive problem, and the work that you all do is beyond incredible, because this is something that personally is near and dear to my heart. Can you tell me why this is near and dear to you as well, and why you decided to begin to work with Coburn Place?
Absolutely. So I've been connected to Coburn Place in many ways, but the very first place that I was connected, or way that I was connected to Coburn Place, was as a survivor. I was in a place of need. I was in a relationship that unfortunately was full of domestic violence, physical, mental, and financial. And a friend of mine told me about Coburn Place. At that time, there was a wait list process. I went to get more information, and fortunately, a few months down the road, I was able to get housing from Coburn Place, and it was absolutely transformative for me and my children.
Now, I will ask this, because you say a few months down the road, which for me, depending on the situation you're in, that can be kind of scary.
Absolutely.
To wait a few months down the road. So
Absolutely.
how was that experience for you personally?
It can be a matter of life and death.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I had some support of family members, and many people don't have that support. Fortunately, I had a cousin, and I was able to go sleep on their couch while I waited for placement and while I waited to find somewhere for me and my children. But it's not always that case, which is why we partner with organizations like Indie Champs and like emergency services or emergency shelters so that we can get that survivor out of that home as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We talk often about safety planning and how important it is to start safety planning and determine how you're going to leave, the safest way to leave, because that's the most dangerous time when a survivor is about to leave. But one thing I tell people personally is no matter how much you've planned, if you get that intuition, that gut feeling that it's time to leave, it's just time to leave. And unfortunately, that was the case in my case. I was at a YMCA on a regular day. My child was there. I was working out, and I got a phone call, and I just knew that I didn't know exactly what was going to happen if I went home, and I chose not to, and it was the best decision that I made.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who is going through something like this, who is watching this, who is nervous about their next steps and is nervous about what to do? Because, I'm grateful I've never been in a situation like this, but I get scared for my friends, my family, for people in my life, that it's like, it truly can be a matter of life or death. So
Absolutely.
What do you have any practical advice as to what a person can do if they are in a domestic violence situation?
Yeah, so I'll start from the beginning and just say know the signs. Because there are many individuals that are in a domestic violence situation and they don't realize that that is that. It's not just physical. For me, I thought that if I was not being physically abused daily, then I'm not in an abusive relationship. It only takes one time to be physical abuse, and sometimes it's not even just physical. It could be mental abuse, it could be financial abuse, it can be controlling tactics, isolation, not having you around the people that you're typically around. And so how you navigate that if you find yourself in a situation like that is the total opposite. Increase your support system. There are many supports out here, whether that's your family members or a community like Indie Champs or like Coburn Place or like ICADV and other organizations that provide materials, educational information, and safety planning for how to get yourself out of a situation like that.
What about also the stigma? I think that sometimes when it comes to domestic violence, there can be a stigma that surrounds it, that it's your fault.
Yeah.
And you did this, and perhaps even you deserve this. And so what do you say to people who are fighting those voices in their head that maybe they feel like ultimately that this was their fault and they chose this in some capacity?
I would say everyone deserves a safe home and everyone deserves to be in a safe atmosphere. I dealt with that stigma myself because unfortunately I left twice. It wasn't just one time, it was 2 times. And I felt a lot of shame about that for a very long time until I got deeper in this work and I realized that typically it takes up to 4 times for an individual to leave a relationship that is toxic or has domestic violence in it. So it takes multiple times to leave, and that is okay. So one thing that really helps is just normalizing the fact that these things happen and there is support systems and there are people who are supportive in the community that can really embrace you and can really offer you the tools that you need to get out of a situation like that. So I would say increase your support.
Yes, increase your support. And one place that is offering some of what we need is IKEA.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the partnership that you have with IKEA.
So IKEA and Coburn Place have been partnered for a long time. When you come into your unit as a survivor, your unit is fully furnished. Not only is it fully furnished, your pantries are full, your toiletries are there. You have everything you need because many times, just like myself, a survivor is leaving with nothing except for the clothes that they have on their back. And we want them to have that dignity, that safety, and just that warm feeling of being at home. And so that's where IKEA comes into place. They've donated furniture for some time, but right now they're doing a donation drive. And so you can actually shop IKEA's registry at coburnplace.org/IKEA. You can shop the registry, and when you shop the registry, those items will go to Coburn Place. You can also drop off at the Fisher's IKEA new items, kitchen supplies, as well as bathroom supply items that are new, like toothpaste, shampoo, and things of that nature.
I think I got a list over here. It's
wonderful.
It's toothpaste, body wash, hair gel, first aid kits, Band-Aids, trash bags, dish soap, and cleaning wipes. So children's toothpaste and adult toothpaste. So there are a lot of things that you can donate. I actually really, when I was reading that list, I really appreciated the fact that they had hair gel on there. Because, I think we think about things like, say, toothpaste, and we think about things like, say, body wash or deodorant, whatever, such like that. But we don't always think about, maybe someone wants to just look better.
Absolutely. And those little things like that are so important when it comes to getting out of such a toxic relationship and coming home to a place to feel like home, to have your things for your type of hair, to be able to style your hair is something small that can make a world of a difference.
It can just make you feel better.
Yeah,
It can do something to uplift you. So my presumption is that it's been a few years since you went through what you went through.
Yes.
And you were at Coburn Place at the time. And so what do you have to say to women right now who you're like, come, if you are in a space where you're going through a form of domestic violence, what do you have to say to those women and even possibly to survivors who may find themselves in the same situation again?
Absolutely, and we serve both men and women. That's a stigma as well. Yep, that they're both they both can be survivors. But the biggest thing that I would say is that you are absolutely deserving, and you are absolutely worthy of love, worthy of support, worthy of healing with or without a partner. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, a lot of my upbringing was around who you are when you have a partner. So nothing else mattered until you had a partner. And what that does is it creates a lot of blind spots, and it creates a lot of time that you want to just stay in that relationship because you want this to work out. But when I realized that whether I have a partner or not, I'm worthy of a peaceful home, I'm worthy of a safe, loving place, that changed everything for me. And actually, while I was in Coburn Place almost 10 years ago, I met the love of my life. We are married now, just celebrated our 8-year anniversary. So the story ends well. He's a volunteer at Coburn Place. He's volunteering right now, helping clean up an event.
It's like a movie.
So I would say you are worthy of that love no matter what, and it is totally okay to go at it alone for some time.
Well, I'm happy that you addressed that because there can be shame attached even to singleness.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you're single, and it's because of this or it's because of that, and it's because, it's just like, maybe I just haven't met the right person yet.
Absolutely.
And so it's a partially not rushing into something that you don't need to be in. Is there anything else?
Peace is most important. Peace, make peace your priority over all things. Because that was my motto in life after my time at Coburn Place. My motto was peace. So as soon as I started to feel something that was disturbing my peace, there was no other reason for them to be in my life or anything.
Yeah.
And so peace is so important, and your intuition is absolutely important.
Yeah.
You know when things are just not right. And even if the first step is just getting that support and just talking to a friend, a family member, a church member, anybody who would be willing to listen is so important.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you have reached a place of peace. Yes. I can see it in your smile. I can see it in your face. I can see it. And I hope that every single person that's attached to Coburn Place experiences the same peace that you've experienced, the same joy, the same love, and that they can give back in the same way too. I thank you so much for coming on,
Thank you.
And I'm glad I said that because if somebody does want to give back, how? Because you mentioned your husband was a volunteer.
Yes.
And so how can someone do that?
We have tons of ways to volunteer and give back. We have a list that's even longer on our website of common needs that our survivors have. But there's items that we that they can take or opportunities to volunteer. So if there are programs or things you want to teach, a sewing class, a self-help class, maybe you know about budgeting and want to teach that, those are all ways you can volunteer with Coburn Place. Even our favorite volunteer activity, which is setting up an apartment and decorating it and just getting it ready for a family that is about to arrive.
I love, we talked to the Salvation Army, and I love when people are just like, bring your gifts. Like, if you have something that is a gift, then bring it.
Yes.
You know, I just think that is just so wonderful, and I could certainly see it being needed here. So if you all are listening and you hear this, you can volunteer in more than just one way, and you can donate and you can give up your time and yourself and what you know to Coburn Place. Thank you so much, Tracy, for coming on here. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for the work that you do and the mission-centered work that you do. I really appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks again for having us.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be right back, guys. Welcome back. We are here with representatives from the Salvation Army of Central Indiana to explain to us all of what it is that they do, from the Red Kettle Kickoff to the Circle City Toy Run. They do a lot of amazing things, and I'm here with two pretty cool people, Ken and Dan. How are you all doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Dan, I want to start off talking to you, and I first want you to explain, what is the Salvation Army? Now, I know that's a big question, but I see it around, but I want to help demystify for some people in Central Indiana who may not know all that it is that you all do in its full capacity. What is the Salvation Army?
So yeah, the Salvation Army, we are a nonprofit organization. We serve Indianapolis and the surrounding counties. We, in a short form, we meet human needs and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Anything from financial assistance, rental assistance, utility assistance. Everyone knows us for Angel Tree and providing Christmas to 5,000 kids here locally. We have a few food pantries. We have a domestic violence shelter that we help protect those women and children who are fleeing violence.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and it's one thing that it's really helpful for these women who are just seeking shelter, so we provide them with food and clothing, whatever they need. So it's a full shelter downtown. It's called the Ruth Lilly Women and Children's Center, and then we also have adult rehabilitation services. So anyone that's looking for help. With their addiction, their gambling addiction, drugs, alcohol, all of that. We have that service, and that's we get people from statewide that need help that come here to Indianapolis, specifically to our Harbor Light Center, and it's a in treatment program, and it has a lot of success right now.
Yeah, wow. See, like when I think of the Salvation Army, I just think Christmas.
Right.
And of course, I think the little red buckets, when you're out in front of the grocery store, and we got the Red Kettle Kickoff. What is that? What does it mean? What does that represent?
Yeah, so our Red Kettle Kickoff officially kicks off those red kettles that you see outside of Walmart's, Kroger's, Hobby Lobbies. And we announced our goal, which is $3.6 million. That's how much we were trying to raise this Christmas year. And anything that's donated into those kettles will get counted towards that $3.6 million goal that we have. And when you donate to the kettle, all of that money stays local. That's what's great about it. That money that's dropped into Fountain Square or say up north in Hamilton County or say it's over on the east side or west side, that money stays locally. It's going to help those people in those communities, those neighborhoods, whether it's, like I mentioned, food, shelter, Christmas, things like that. And it also helps in, a lot of people think that the money donated to us is just helping us for Christmas. It's helping all our services year round. I had mentioned all of those. That keeps our services alive for the entire year. So when you donate to the kettle, you're not just helping provide Christmas to someone. You're helping, your neighbor when they need utility assistance in March. When bills may be tough and everyone's not thinking about how to help. That what you donated in December is helping people in April and March. So
Now, what if someone is a person that needs help? How do they get help from the Salvation Army?
Yeah, so we have a few locations where people can come in, talk to our social services, and figure out what we can do. And if we can't do it, then we have a lot of partners in the city that we have networked with, and we can refer them. So we have a location in Fountain Square, and we also have a location on the west side. It's Eagle Creek area. It's on High School Road. Both of them doors are always open. We're going to help you. If you walk into our doors needing something, we're going to find out. Like I said, if we can't help you right then and there, we know people who are going to be able to help you.
And when I think about the red kettles, I feel like I saw this in the press release. You can donate. It doesn't have to be cash, right?
Correct. Yeah. So you can donate from the comfort of your home. We have a virtual red kettle. That's all on our website, sacentralindiana.org. You can find out ways to, like I said, donate virtually. And you don't even have to donate to help. You can make a huge impact by donating time. By volunteering your time, just 2 hours at a kettle, you could help feed a family for 4. You could, at 2 hours at a kettle, you could probably raise upwards of $200.
Wow.
And
you'd be surprised how much you could raise.
You would be totally surprised on how much.
I used to do dance marathon when I was in college, and we used to stand out with little red buckets there too. And someone came over and they wrote a check for $1,000. And so you just never know how someone could help you and what they could do.
Right. We see companies, step up, and groups of them go out and ring. Families go out and ring. You can look on our social media. We have a couple people who have they sang. They did Christmas carols. They just have fun with it, right? Right.
Okay.
So it's just
it's like you can donate your gifts in some capacity.
Right. So we know times are tough right now, and a lot of people out there want to help. But say, a lot of people may think, well, I don't have money to donate, so I can't help.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case, because you can volunteer your time. We have, we have Christmas toys to sort and go through. The Circle City Toy Run is going to give us thousands of toys that we need to sort.
Yeah.
So volunteering just 2 hours of your time is going to help us wherever needed. And so that's one thing that people may forget, that you don't need money to help nonprofits.
Yeah.
You can volunteer your time, and that could be one of the best ways to help.
Yeah. And you know what? You mentioned the Circle City Toy Run. So, Ken, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring you back in here. So tell me, what is the Circle City Toy Run? What are you all doing?
Well, it's our 31st annual Circle City Toy Run, so we're really proud of that. It's benefiting the Salvation Army, of course. And we're having an event. It's on the 29th, Saturday after Thanksgiving. And it's at the Moose Lodge, number 17 on the east side.
Okay.
And we're going to collect toys there for underprivileged children for the Salvation Army.
And tell me about what this looks like and what you all are doing. Are you all on sleighs?
Well, we'd like to do that, but no, some of us have to actually ride motorcycles, but we offer people to come in, driving or whatever to the event. They don't necessarily have to ride a motorcycle. And we get donations at the door, and of course, it's mainly music, entertainment, food, to
That's
bring
fun.
people in. Yeah.
Yeah. So is someone bringing a toy, Or is that what happens? Do you bring a toy, or is it you bring money and then you all buy the toys?
Well, you can make a $10 donation or more, and also a new toy is what we're asking for, yes.
Okay, is there any specific kind of toys that you all are looking for?
Well, in general, we just ask for whatever they can offer, basically.
Okay. And what you've been doing this for 30 years now. This will be 31.
31, yeah.
And so what has this program, what has the Circle City Toy Run meant for you all of these years?
Well, I've been in fundraising a lot in my life, so I love this one because you see the joy of the kids and how much they really do appreciate it, and might not have a Christmas like others that need the help. This is what we're after, helping them and getting the toys to the underprivileged kids. But I enjoy it and doing this because I just believed in Dorothy Heron, which was Ron Heron, the founder's mother. And she worked for the foundation, or for the Salvation Army. And we got involved in it way back then, and she was a second mom to me, really.
Yeah.
So it means a lot to me, just on that part.
Yeah, I love it when we hear like the personal stories behind why someone is attached to it and behind why someone cares so much. Dan, do you want to add anything as to why the Circle City Toy Run is a part of what you all are doing at the Salvation Army?
Yeah, well, we love this Circle City Toy Run. It's always a great spectacle, right? So if you're interested in like seeing it, because we were just talking about it. Hopefully the weather's good.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of motorcycles out there. The group talks about this kind of being like the last ride for a lot of people in town.
Last ride.
Well, we're not going to ride in December, right? Because so riding motorcycles, right? So,
I was like, oh my gosh.
So a lot of these motorcycle riders don't want to, they're not getting out in the bitter cold when it's snowing and things like that. So this is kind of like that last ride
of the year
for the calendar year for them. So a lot of them like to show up, and it's what's really cool about it is that you get like 100 of these motorcycles, and about half of them are all dressed up in Santa or the Grinch, and they got their bikes all decked out in lights and holly and things like that. It's a really cool spectacle. So even if you can just come, you don't have to. If you don't ride, that's okay. Like just Ken was saying, you don't have to ride. You could watch all the bikes and as they go through their.
Are you gonna be riding?
I don't ride. No, that's not for me. But I'll be there.
Can you ride?
I have in the past, but I'm not doing it this year. I really wish I was out there, but I'll leave that to the others.
Right, leave that to the professionals. They're the best at the riding. And you can see some of them have like sidecars. You kind of see in the old days. So you kind of see everything. And what's really cool about it is just the camaraderie, right? Because they're all doing it for one reason. The one reason is to get Christmas gifts to kids who may not have that opportunity, who parents are thinking about the electricity bill and not thinking about Christmas. And so just having the camaraderie of everyone, they have a party, like you said, at the Moose Lodge. So there's food, there's entertainment there. And just hanging out with the group, it's just a sight to see. It really is.
Well, you all do so much in the community. I didn't know how much you all do all year, how much this takes. I just think of you all as like the red bucket people. But today we've learned that you all are so much more than that. And the Circle City Toy Run is so much more than that. I want to thank you, Ken. I want to thank you, Dan, for coming in and speaking with me today. I really appreciate you all.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Deep Dive. I'm your host, Deja Studdard, and I'm happy to be back with you next week as we explore small businesses in different areas where you can shop. I'll see you on Black Friday next week. Thank you.